else who witnessed it. Chapter 1. She reads stains. Coffee stains at the bottom of a very strong cup of Turkish coffee. I hate coffee, but I guess my curiosity got the best of me, so when I was 19 years old, I went to see this psychic and drink from the cup. I wanted to see what the future would bring. Was it a boatload of riches, a handsome man, or a job that made me a great success? I never expected to hear what she told me. She said I would die at an early age. I know, right? They never tell you bad news, but there it was. No wealth, no man. No, I was going to die at an early age. Of course, back then I passed off that prediction as maybe just a psychic's ploy to get more money out of me by forcing me to ask how and when. I didn't bite. Maybe I should have. I started thinking about that reading as I was recovering from dying. 23 years after that coffee lady allegedly saw those fatal stains, I died at the age of 41 for 37 seconds. Did the psychic really see something back then? Or was it just coincidence? I'll never know. But I have come to believe that I can't discount the possibility of being able to see into the future, because months before I was to give birth to our second child, I had visions that I was going to die. They were scary and detailed. At the time, I couldn't have told you why or how these visions happened, but they would ultimately save my life. In the aftermath, as I relived my death, only this time as an observer, I came to understand who had sent me those warnings. It was May 30th, 2013, 1 week shy of my scheduled C-section, and I woke up with a craving for a cigarette. I don't smoke. Never have. But throughout my pregnancy, I craved them constantly. It was weird. I certainly wasn't going to pick up a smoke, but I had found myself purposely walking close to smokers just to get a whiff. Strange, I know. I shook off the craving and headed to the kitchen to start the day. While I was giving my daughter Adina breakfast, I felt off. All of a sudden, I felt a strange cramp. Looked into my underwear and saw blood. It wasn't a few droplets, but a full rush of blood that quickly soaked my nightgown and puddled at my feet. Adina stood there staring at me with fear in her eyes. The mommy in me went into high gear as I tried to clean up. The only thing I could think to do was to keep smiling, be positive, and tell her she was going to meet her brother today. I didn't want her to be scared, even if I was. The truth is, I was terrified. I wasn't in pain, just in shock. And from the look of my daughter's face, she felt the same way. So I put a smile on my face and got excited, and she was distracted enough not to focus on the fact that I was, in her words, peeing red. I calmly called Tessie to come upstairs. She was Adina's night nurse when she was born. Tessie was a close family friend, and she had told my husband that she wouldn't leave me alone while he was out of town, given the pregnancy complications I was having. I'm so grateful she was there that morning. I knew I needed help right away, so I prepared to head to the hospital. As we got Adina strapped into the car, a million things were going through my mind. I had to call my husband, Jonathan, who was in a meeting in New York. I could have walked to the hospital located directly behind our house in Chicago to get immediate medical attention. But I wanted to be with my doctors who knew my medical history, so I knew I had to drive. Tessie went to get into the driver's seat, but I snapped at her and told her to get out of the way. I knew she would be nervous and wouldn't know where to go. Giving her directions and telling her to run yellow lights would only make her panic, so I told her to get into the back seat. I was still bleeding, but I figured I could get to the hospital in 15 minutes flat. I felt I had enough time. Okay, maybe it wasn't the smartest move I've ever made, and yes, I know what could have happened. Still, I had many fears and premonitions leading up to that day, but dying in a car accident wasn't one of them. I started to pray. I remember my family rabbi teaching me at an early age that the Shema prayer means many things, but that its main purpose is to protect. Jews are to say this prayer every morning and every evening so that its power will help to protect their souls. I desperately needed that now, and I was certain that if no one else could help me, my Jewish faith and God could. So I prayed. I was in control and driving as calmly as I could. The blood was contained for the moment with a pad. I called my husband and told him he needed to get on a plane to Chicago because we were having our baby.